portfolio almost in the beginning.
Yeah, the transition is clear here where you're like, okay, I'm not using it here. I want to make this my job. I want to go for it. And I love that you did it and you've been doing it. So since you've been doing that, how do you come up with what you're going to post? Like you have a lot of ideas out here, you know, the Ragnar racing, you have your hiking. I'm just in this one vein, so I'm going to change here, but you know, different races that you do, different hikes that you do. How do you choose what you're doing and how do you to stay so consistent with that one video a week?
Yeah. So this is what's great about YouTube. I do whatever I want to do. I came from the TV world where I was told what to do. Like, you're going to go to Texas and you're going to make videos about Tex-Mex food, which may or may not be cool to me, but I'm doing it because it's a job. Right. Now, because of YouTube, I get to dream up whatever I want to do and go out and make it happen. And, you know, so most of my videos are of these awesome dreams that I've had that I've put together. And, you know, I document them and release them. And a lot of my videos are experiential where, you know, the viewer is just watching me go through whatever I'm going through from point A to point B. And then some videos will be, you know, along with that, like let's say the Colorado Trail, I will make a video about this is the gear you need to ride your bike on the Colorado Trail or the Great Divide mountain bike route, or these are the shoes you need to run an ultra marathon. So I want some of the videos to be like straight up, like helpful videos. And it's not like a story. I'm a storyteller at heart. So I love the story videos more, but I also realize that most people are going to YouTube because they want to learn something and figure something out. And they're specifically typing in, what gear do I need to ride my bike across the country? Boom. Then my video comes up.
And so you're kind of hitting a couple of points of like, you need to diversify things and you need to have series because that creates someone wanting to come back and they want to see you finish the trail and they want to, oh crap. Like, you know, it's video 1. What shoes do you need? That's a gear review, which you can put Amazon links and all these kind of other things that create revenue streams. But like, how do you determine or do you determine, okay, this month I need to have a little bit of the series I'm doing here. I need to have, you know, a gear video. Is there a recipe or is it really just like, hey, I am still editing episode 2 of the series. Why don't I talk about this?
Mm-hmm. It's a good question. And I'm pretty loosey-goosey about it. I know some YouTubers are very strict with their production schedules, but I'm like, oh crap, I don't have a video for next week. Maybe I should go for a bike ride up this beautiful mountain or something, you know? So there are some times where I just like fill in the holes really quickly. But it's very rare where I'm like, I have like 8 videos all planned out in the future.
Yeah, you got some good latitude though to be like, hey, I'm just going to ride my bike up this hill, take a video.
Totally. And I have like a notepad, you know, on my desk at all times of like ideas I have that videos I will someday get to. And those ideas are for when I have a hole. I'm like, oh, okay, I need to get to this video. I don't have anything coming up for this next week.
Oh, I got a great idea. This is for any YouTuber out there. I pride myself on ideas. Either you could do one of those ones where it's like, you know, at the bottom of papers and there's like, you pick a number that goes off.
Oh, yeah.
You could just pull a tab and it could be one. Or you get a jar and you get those tiny envelopes and you put ideas in them. You write them all down. You keep stuffing them in the jar. And then when you run out of ideas, pull open the jar, pull open the envelope, bam, video idea.
Bam.
That's just a guy just shooting from the hip here. One thing I wanted to touch on that you just talked about as well is that it's so funny. And maybe you were like this because I'm like this. It's like, if my mom told me to do something when I was a kid, I'm not going to do it. If somebody tells me to do something, I don't want to do it. If a boss tells me to do something, I'm like, you know, it's like, I'm probably going to do it, but it's going to be at the last minute. So something you touched on a second ago, now you went away from TV, you go away from these things, you're making your own content. I feel like there is so much that is being missed from traditional syndicated television shows, regular television shows, whatever they might have. Corporations who think they are like woke as far as like good content goes in that sense. And then it's like, how much of it of what you do now, it's like what you produce is so much better because you're going out and doing something that you love and that you're passionate about. Like, can you talk about how that kind of changes your whole mentality of like how you create essentially? If that makes any sense to anyone.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. We'll figure out an answer. Don't you worry. I love, my whole goal is to create value in the world with my content. Every video I make, I hope that it reaches somebody, at least one, and inspires them in some way. And that's what I love about the freedom of YouTube and the stories that I get to tell. And sometimes viewers will say, hey, could you do a video about this? And I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. And so it's this community that I've built that I love, where I'll answer everybody's questions. And people know that if they give me some suggestions, there's a good chance I'll make it into a video. And it really is a community. And, I have Patreon now and all this other fun stuff. So it's like, okay, yeah, this is it's better than I ever could have imagined being a TV show host, where TV hosts can't really create that type of community with their content. I can. And that's the real special part about it.
Especially if they're limited. Like I watched the Joe Rogan with, oh my God, the guy from Fast and Loud. What's his, JP, do you know his name?
Can't remember. I can't think of the name off the head.
But what he was saying is even his own, he got to the point where you wanted to be. He had his own show. He had a whole series. He had everything there. He couldn't even post certain things on his own social media. Like he posted a picture of his daughter at her birthday, and Discovery Channel told him to take it down. Yeah. Because it wasn't part of his brand. But now you're the director of your own brand.
I'm the boss of me.
That's what I'm trying to get to. What I'm trying to say is I just feel like these companies that are so late to YouTube and they're so late to YouTube. It's imagine if you could go back, if you went back to them now, maybe you're in touch with some of these people. You got to feel so stupid on their end for not being just let him do his own thing. And we're just going to tie some ads and stuff and promotional stuff in here and some branding stuff that's going to be really low key, but we're going to put in there. It's how dumb do these people have to be to not get that? Because everyone's so focused on television. It's those people are stuck with 30-minute shows with 4 commercial breaks and everything in between. They can't even think outside of it.
Well, and making TV is really hard. So many times I would pitch a show and they're like, we love this concept, but we don't know which advertisers would want to advertise around this show. And it's well, that's why we're not going to do it, because you're not going to figure out the advertising model for this.
It's so stupid.
And that's where YouTube wins. And that's where YouTube wins, because they're like, outdoors, and you keyworded Moab. There's a company that is, Bike Moab, and they're putting an advertisement for this. They're going to pay you 40 cents a person because, hey, it's super targeted ads, where TV has to be as broad of a stroke, but also in the same color scheme, right? Oh, it's green, but this is a turquoise one where, and then when they can't fill it, they're like, let's just throw in another drug ad because they'll pay us. Great, sick.
Painting with a broad brush.
And to go along with that, with TV kind of controlling your brand, right now on my channel, I can talk about current events. I can talk about the environment or climate change or whatever, anything political. It's my channel. Nobody's stopping me. On TV, not a chance you can do that. Yeah. Never. You'll get fired. But, and I do talk about this stuff. I talk about stuff that I truly care about. And there are consequences to it. Sometimes I do lose followers. I piss people off when I get fired up about different current events. But when it comes down to it, again, it's my channel. And it's I want to share my heart and my soul with my viewers. And you might not agree with me, but that's okay.
Yeah. And to set the record straight for all the viewers that are watching today, Ryan's a big flat earther. So that's really where he's coming from. That's what he's talking about.
Look how flat the earth is.
Listen, listen, I'm just saying what you've been saying, just saying what you're preaching. No.